More people showing up.
This is a bit more than wow.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you're here, we bring the people for you and they're interested. So hey, Regina's in the building. All right. Love it. Love it. So do you want me to kick off with the mission or do you want to jump off?
Yeah,
Right
wait,
ahead,
wait, hold on. Alex,
Or-
I'm just gonna let people in, so I'm gonna let you talk
All
so I
right.
keep pausing in my,
Okay.
because there's people that just keep coming in. Okay.
Yes. You know, I have a question for you all here. Since you are here, you are committed to spending your time with us. So what is the one thing that made you say, yes, I'm going to block off time on my calendar. I'm going to be here, be present, and be ready to receive. So what is that one thing that you said, hell yeah, I'm going to register for this. I'm going to show up. The people. Yeah, TL. All right. Tara told me. Tara told me. That's always a good reason. If she tells me to do something, I'm doing it too. Yeah, Tara, man, Tara, we had to give you like a badge or something like that, or like a
Calls out
sticker.
here.
You're gonna be like #1 inviter, and I got some ideas for like for this in the future, but as far as like contests and stuff like that. So if we had the contest active, you'd like win it already. Um, that's great. I don't know any coaches in here in the area. Okay. Apologies for y'all. I'm just scrolling back through this, trying to see if I missed anything. Cosign the people, hashtag community. All right. Neil said people in the space on the calendar finally open up for this slot, man. Good to have you. That's when the planets line up. 2 years after coaching, I'm still struggling with pricing. Oof. Thank you, Margie. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you for being transparent about that. We all got questions about pricing, and John is going to help help us with some different ways to navigate that. Ooh, Ashley, grapple with why I end up overworking. All right. Especially on Fridays. Man, we got to free up your Fridays, brother. Let's go. Patricia is here to learn about, hang out with the people, celebrate, here for the culture. Gwen saw somebody posting about charging 40K a month for team coaching. How do you get there? Pff, let's get that money. Let's go. It's out there. The numbers don't lie. It's out there. We got it. Jocelyn's here for the people and learning to be inspired. I can keep reading if you want me to. If you want me to stop, I'll stop. But
Well, Alex, I think I'll just keep letting people in.
reparations.
I just want to say,
Patrice said reparations. I know she's joking, but like, you know what? It's not that far off. Oh, and gee, this is your first time with us with our community, man.
yeah,
Welcome,
there's a
welcome
few
to.
people it's their first time too.
Yeah, this is a bit on. So for you first timers, right, I don't mean to like you rookies, but this is not typically how our networking meetings go. We usually have a monthly networking meeting where we all gather and go into breakout rooms, things like that. But we wanted to do something do something a little different this month. Well, this month and next month, we're gonna be doing some trainings, and we want to give you all a taste of the direction where we're heading to with the collective, and we're going to be talking more about that. But we really wanted to give you this full-on experience of what this next level is going to look like with trainings and service, and also still opportunities to network and collaborate, because that's a really big part of our mission here, to make sure that us coaches of color, different shades and shapes and sizes, get these 40K months, right? Get these 50K months. Like, why is it reserved for? It's not reserved for just one lane, so we can do it too. Beatrice, your first timer here, you finally had time to do this. Yes, thank you for committing to be here. Let's see, Tara was in a breakout last month. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You were in John's room. Yep.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
helped you with an old story in the past and inspired you to raise
That
your
was why I'm
prices.
on.
Oh yeah. I love that. Raise those prices. That's it. Let's not be scared of the money. Money is our friend.
All right, Alex, should we get started?
Yeah, let's rock and roll. We're almost at 10 past the hour, and people didn't come here to hear me speak. You came here for the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm Rima B. Tyson. I know that we've all communicated in some way, shape, or form, and it's nice to see and meet some of the folks I have not had a chance to meet yet. So I just wanted to start by welcoming you, but also sharing our mission. We just really want to make sure that we're starting with that every time that we gather. And so our mission for our collective is to curate a brave and authentic space for coaches to connect and to elevate our voices globally in the coaching profession. We started in July 2020. We're still here. We have some exciting things coming on the way. And then our leadership team, I think Kibi's on here too. There's Alex, Gwen, and Kibi. So you'll be hearing from all of us at different times. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Alex, who's our MC. Alex is going to introduce John, and we will take it from there. So let's, during this conversation, we'll be managing the chat as well. So please feel free to put, questions, comments in the chat.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Reem. Yes. So I get the distinct honor to welcome our guest, our speaker for this month. And so let me tell you about Colonel John Boggs, U.S. Marine Corps, retired, so Semper Fi. We salute you. Thank you for your 30 years of service to the nation. And that actually resulted in you being one of the rare few to command at every rank held. Colonel Boggs is one of the he's an authority on executive leadership development and gender integration. John is also a strategist, an author, accomplished speaker, and an executive transformational leadership coach. He works with high impact executive leaders and organizations that are diverse in size and complexity. John's also a graduate of world-renowned Georgetown University's Executive Leadership Coaching Program and a member of the National Speaker Association in the Arizona chapter. He also continues to serve by raising scholarship money to support children of Marines and Navy corpsmen to attend college, as well as advocating for women in the armed forces and supporting the efforts of veterans to gain careers, not just jobs. And in what little spare time remains, he also coaches a high school lacrosse team. And there's a lot more I could have said about him. I could go on and create, but he's going to share his story. He's going to share his tips with you about pricing and how to make a big impact and even more income in your practice. So, John, welcome. The floor is yours. Oh, you're muted, John. You're muted.
Thank you very much, Alex, Reem, and Tara. Where are you, Tara? Because if it wasn't for me being with Tara and Jennifer in the last session, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I was with them and we got to talking about pricing and how they price and how things and just how hard it is. And I stopped and went, wow, okay, you charge what? Okay, no, we have to stop that. So let me ask you this, okay? How many of you charge by the hour? Just hands, just let me see. You can come off, or you can put yourself on the camera, it's okay. I'm not gonna make fun of you. There you go, there we go, there you go. Let them handsome faces, pretty faces. How many of you charge by the hour? Let me see them hands. How many of you charge by the hour? Okay, what makes you charge by the hour? Don't answer that right now. Just give that some thought, because you will never do that again. You do not charge by the hour. Okay, that's rule one, not by the hour. Okay, so here's my slide, my first slide. Can you all see that? That's the agenda. Okay, I spent a lot of time on this slide. You probably can't read it too well, but it says this. First thing we're going to talk about is where are you? Then we're going to talk about where do you want to be? You need to know that. Where do you want to be? What's holding you back? And then there's a fourth slide right there. Fourth slide is raise your prices. And down there, Alex said something to me just before we started, which he was 100% right. He hurt himself, he broke his toe, and he said, well, I need to slow down. Everyone out there, remember that coaches need to slow down. We get ourselves worked up and it's things, and we have to go faster, faster, faster. And here's what we start doing. I'm going to take this course. I'll take that course. Oh, no, no, no. There's this thing here. I got to do that. I got to do this. I'm spending money like crazy. If this is like you, just raise your hand. I'm spending money so fast. It's coming in. It's going out faster than it's going in. Why am I doing this? Oh my God, I'm going broke. I'm coaching for coffee. I'm coaching for free. Why am I doing this? You can't sustain that. But actually, I'm going to tell you why coaching for free is not such a bad idea. But I'm going to tell you how to coach for free. Is that okay? Tell you how to coach for free. And then you'll stop and go, oh shit, John was right. Okay, excuse my language. I've been in the Marines too long, so I get a little rough around the edges from time to time.
We want you to bring your whole self, John.
Yes, ma'am, I'm going to do that. Is that okay with y'all? Okay, because after today, I do not want to hear I coach for free and I coach for coffee and that's that. No, we're not going to do that. I will also share with you what I call the question. And now when I go to the question, I need to see everybody's head go down and you start writing. Because when I give you the question, it's one of the most powerful ways to bring people into your orbit. Okay. So let me start. Where are you? So, okay, where is everybody? How many out there have been coaching for less than 2 years? Okay, good number, good number. How many have been coaching for less than 10? Okay. All right, I see where we are. Okay. How many of you, if we were to do this by the hour, I need you to do quick math if you don't do by the hour. How many of you are charging $100 or less? Okay, a couple of honest folks out there. All right, that's good. It's okay if you are. We won't after today, but it's okay if you are. Okay, where do you want to be? Just put it in the chat. What do you want to be charging? Let's just say it was by the hour, just to give us a frame of reference, because I don't like the hour, but just to give me a frame of reference. 250 per session, 250, 250, 500. Very good, Tamir. 225, 500. Okay. 1,000. Thank you, Alex. Donna, 3 to 5. Okay. Kelsey, I don't know. Okay. B2B, 500. Yes, yes, yes. 950. Way to go, Ashley. Okay. Great. Great. How many of you doing like above $800 an hour if we were to try and get it into an hour? How many are doing above 800 an hour? Okay, there's 1, 2. I think I counted 2 or 3. Okay, well, you being on this call, thank you, because you're doing well. You can probably, you don't need this, but thank you for participating. Okay, so for those of us that are below, that are below that $100 mark, what's holding you back? Well, let me put it to everyone. And please just put your answers in the chat. What holds you back from asking for more? What is it? What keeps you from asking for more? Lack of knowledge, pricing crap. Okay. I'll price myself out of clients. Yeah, you won't. People can't afford me. They can't, but they'll pay anyway. Still a certification. That's all right. You'll get through that. Fear of the client. Client won't be able to afford it. They will. I work with people who can't afford it. Okay. What's keeping you from working with people who can? My individual clients were, okay, accessible for them. Okay. All right. Scarcity mindset, affordability. Arliss, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that candor. Because what I have found in my travels now is that in most cases, coaches don't value themselves. We tend to not value what we bring. So if you're coaching, Okay, and I'm sorry, I did have one last thing on my agenda here. Raising prices. How many of you want to raise your prices? Everybody, right? Everybody here. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. There's two things that a coach does. Two things that a coach does. You all see this slide? I spent a lot of time on this slide. Okay. They coach, and they sell. We love coaching, right? We all love coaching. There's not a person out there that loves selling. If you love selling, I mean, I hate selling. I hate it with a passion. I hate selling. So it's this. We're not going to sell. Okay. You're a good coach, you don't sell. But what you do, service. You provide a service. You coach and you provide a service. Said another way, it's value. Every good coach, and I know everyone on this call is a good coach. You provide value to your client. Now, the first sale, there's only one sale here, just one sale, and that's to you. You all have to believe the sale is to you, not to someone else, not to your potential client, not to your client, because some of us don't bring our full selves because we're so happy to get a client. We want to keep them happy. Oh, I need them to be happy with me, and it's okay. So we keep doing this. Whoa, stop. Provide value and service. A coach has got to be able to look a person in the eye and tell them, well, help me to understand why that was a good idea. What caused you to do that? The coach has got to be able to say things to the client that no one else will. That's why you're hired. They don't need a friend. They have plenty of those. They need a coach, someone that's going to make them better than they are, someone that's going to help them get to where they want to get to. If you're working in corporate, what I tell the folks, I say, John, what do you do? Oh, I work with people who are committed to becoming good leaders, becoming the leader they always wanted to be, and the leader their organization needs them to be. That's what I do. And I don't work with everyone. Well, how do you do that? Conversation has started. That's one way, but I will teach you the question in a second. It's always about service. It's always about service. And then it's the service you provide has got to be good. You have got to give them, my next slide. You got to give them a great experience. Okay? Not a good experience, a great experience. When you're bringing people in into the orbit and you're having the conversation, it's questions. John, what do you do? I don't have enough time to tell you what I do. I can tell you, well, let me help you. What are you working on at work that you need some help with? What are some of the things you're working on that's stopping you? What's causing that to stop? I start asking questions. I ask questions, lots of questions. Just questions. They start experiencing you. Does this make sense? They start experiencing who you are. I'm totally focused on them, totally. I'm asking questions. Questions always start with what, how, when, where. Not who and not why. Okay? Those are the questions. Questions remain beautiful. A beautiful question is 11 words or shorter. How did you do that? Tell me more. I never start a question with a verb. The conversation's over. I want to get them talking. The longer they're talking, they're getting their feelings out. The more they're getting their feelings out, the more comfortable they're becoming with you. Does it make sense? You got to get them talking and talking about themselves, not you. You're not selling yourself. Well, I can do this and I can do that. Well, I can work with that. Oh, stop. Whoa. Whoa. Tell me more about you. Where are you from? So how long have you been dealing with this? How does it feel? Or that must feel awful. Name a feeling. Wow, that sounds, fill in the blank. Name the feeling. This is all about them. I've got them talking now. They keep talking and talking. I am simply listening. There will be a point where you simply say, wow. Tell me more. What else? They keep talking. As people keep talking, they're getting very comfortable with you. Then it goes to, Patricia, do you think this is something you can work with? And Patricia's going to say, I think this is something I can work with. Would you like to know what it takes to work with me? So, would you like to know what it takes to work with me? Yes, I do. Okay. And I will go into, well, you know, my fee is, the investment is, the word is, the investment is. You can get away with fee, but I would say investment. Words matter. You are not a tomato. Okay, please understand this. Nobody in this call is a tomato. What I mean is this. A tomato gets felt. No, not that one. That's not you. You're not a tomato. You're a professional coach. You are a professional coach. First sale is to yourself. You have got to believe this. You got to have this firmly in here. I am the professional coach. Because everything from that point, you're projecting confidence. You say, well, John, I'm not so confident. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you have to look in the mirror, and believe me, sometimes you do this, you have to look in the mirror and you have to say $15,000, $21,000, $47,000, $51,000. And it's got to roll off your tongue so easily. It's like butter. And when they say, wow, I don't know if I can afford that. What's John going to say? That's not my problem. Here's what we tend to do, particularly the younger coaches. God bless you all, because you're gonna fill out. But well, here's what I can do. Whoa, stop. stop the music. You can't do shit. You shut up. Why are you taking on their problem for yours? We need money. Okay, we need money. But I don't need your money. Are you with me? I need money, but I don't need your money. I don't. There will be someone else. Okay, there will be someone else. You are not a tomato. If price becomes the first line in the conversation, you have to stop and ask, are you serious about wanting coaching? Well, of course, from a professional coach. Aaron Rodgers played a crappy football game last night. I mean, it was a very crappy football game. And he's going to walk away with $1 million plus for that game last night. He should be given money back. But he's still going to walk away. As crappy as he was, he's going to walk away with $1 million. He's a professional football player. You expect to pay a professional football player. You are a professional coach. People expect to pay a professional coach. Okay? What does that mean? Okay, today we're all comfortable, and that's great. We're all comfortable, we're all looking the part. But when we're having that conversation, you're gonna up the ante a little bit. You're gonna wear the college shirt, you're gonna look a little more professional. Ajit, you're gonna have the Ajit look about you, you're gonna look that, there you go, I'm squared away, I look good, I feel good, my beard is trimmed, I'm all set. And it's only from the waist up. But that's okay, I don't have to stand. So, but you get my point. When you show up, you show up. I'm the professional coach. Soon as they see you, this guy's a pro. And you're having the conversation. The conversation is always slow. It's not a rush. It's not a, please don't start telling people what they can do with you, what you can do with them. You're going to ask them questions. This is about them, not you. It's always about them. When you keep it about them, raising the price will come so naturally, you will be surprised. Every time you get to a number, when you get to 100, that's your bottom line number. You'll never do that again. When you get to 250, that's your bottom line number. You'll never go below that again. Okay? Are you with me? Okay. I'm going to give you the question. And I'm going to stop here and hear what your questions are. When I have conversations with folks, I always tend to ask what I call the question. The question lets me know immediately if they're serious about coaching. I will know everything I need to know to put in the proposal. I'll know everything I need to put in the proposal, except the price. And I'll probably have a pretty good idea what I'm going to charge because I let them talk. Who are you? Where are you from? Now, you probably already know those things when you start the conversation. You know where they work, you know what they do. If you don't, those are great questions. So what do you do? Okay, those are great questions. But then I ask the question, and the question goes like this. Now, you need to copy this down, or I can send it on an email and send it to Reem, but here's how the question goes. Please feel free to use this, make it yours. Make it yours. But this is the question. The question goes like this. If we were having this conversation the way we're speaking right now, if we were going to have this conversation 3 years from now, as we look back over those 3 years, what had to happen for you, both personally and professionally, for you to be happy with the progress you have made? Period, or question mark. I say nothing else. What I do at this point, I break out my pen, my paper, and I start writing. I write as fast as I possibly can. Okay. Now, the younger they are, I may go from 3 years to 18 months. That's the only adjustment. 3 years to 18 months. Why is that? If they're young, young is like, I'm in my 20s. I'm younger than 35. Maybe younger than 30. But if I'm in that early business spot, that sweet spot, 18 months can seem like forever when you're young. They're more senior. There's a couple of more senior folks on this call here. When they're more senior, I go to 3 years. For them, that's the same thing as saying 18 months. Okay, if you're my age, that might be the same as saying tomorrow. But you know, it's 3 years. So it's 3 or 18. That's the only flexibility in the question. Now you can make this question yours, please. It's your gift. Here's what happens. Here is what happens. People tend to stop. They'll lean back. Wow. That's a good question. And they'll start talking. As they start talking, I start writing. When they take a break, I will say, what else? What else? I was on a call for almost 3 hours with a gentleman answering that question. He had a lot on his chest. He paid me $57,000 for the year. Are you with me? Okay, that's what he paid. So it's that simple. Here is what else can happen. There's 2 other things. Here's what else can happen. They look up and they're stuck. They're just, oh. If they have not started talking, for me, if they haven't started talking within 5 to 10 seconds, because I sit because they're thinking. And I say, are you stuck? Yes. Let me help you. Now I roll into the second part of the question. Only if they're stuck. I will ask, what are the obstacles that you had to overcome? Please notice the words, had to overcome. Because he's already there. He's 3 years in the future and he's looking backwards. See, he's already made the success that you're going to help him get to. Okay. They're already there. You help them get there. Hold that thought. So they're looking back, so they're stuck. So you're going to ask, so what are the obstacles that you had to overcome? Ooh. Man, oh man, they can go now. Oh man. Well, there was this, there's that. Oh, geez. And again, I'm writing. I continue. All right. What are the opportunities that you had to take advantage of? What are the opportunities that you had to take advantage of? Conversation continues on. I guarantee it. It will continue on. The third piece. What are the strengths? Now I went to present. What are the strengths that you had to take advantage of? Oh, well, my strengths are. Or they may surprise you and say, you know what, John, I don't think I have many strengths. Whoa, money in the bank. But at any rate, you the money in the bank. You're taking notes. You're taking notes. Okay. When I write that proposal, then, afterwards, okay. Well, and then you let them know, well, okay, well, we just had a coaching session. Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is something I can help you with. Is this something you want help with? Is this something you want help with? Yes. Okay. I can help you out. I will have a proposal to you tomorrow, and let's get back on a call Friday, I give them a day to look. I'll get it to them the next day, and I'll talk to them the day after. That's it. You are now in control. You must take control. Okay. You must step up and be the leader now. You have to, I'm going to get it to you tomorrow. Take your time to look at it. I'll call you the next day. Okay. And we'll chat about the proposal, just to make sure that you gave them their words back. Okay, the emotion is up. You want to give them their words back. Okay, you give them their words back. Yes, you got it, John. That's exactly right. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never had anybody come back and question the price after that. I just haven't. I always phrase things as an investment. This is an investment in you. What are you worth to your organization? What are you worth? What are you worth to you? What are you worth to your family? It's an investment in you. Okay, remember, you are not a tomato. And if God forbid you get something, says, well, that's a lot of money. And you have to ask, what are you worth? This is an investment in you. This is not for me. This is for you. I'm going to give you the very best of me I can give you. I'm going to go all in. I need to make sure you're in. To start, I do one of two things. I'm sorry, let me finish with the question. There is the question going absolutely haywire. When it goes wrong, I've had this happen one time. When it goes wrong, but it does happen. It's, what the hell kind of question is that? I don't even pick my pen up. I said, well, that tells me that you and I can't work together. You have to be willing to do that. You and I cannot work together. What? Well, I can pay you. This is not, no. This is a matter of, if you don't know where you're going, I cannot help you get there. Now we're into the, who's that little girl that grew at 10,000 feet? You know, which way am I going? The Cheshire Cat says, where do you want to go? Well, I don't know. Well, any way you go, we'll get you there. Okay, but for a professional coach, if you have a client that has no idea where they want to go, that's an assignment that I would stop and say, you know what, when you're ready for coaching, you have my number, and just reach back out. I have a file that I keep. It's in my drawer here. I have a file that I keep. I call it my not ready file. Because over the years, I've gotten lots of no's. Well, you know, John, it's a bit more than I expected to spend, and yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, I'm willing to work out how you pay it, but I can't lower the price. I can work out payment. And for me, I ask for everything up front. I ask for everything up front. And when I say everything up front, now please understand there's a little caveat here. Now you're learning all of my little secrets. So the caveat is this: when I ask for everything up front, I say, as a professional courtesy, the investment will be reduced by 10%. So what's the investment number I'm giving him? 10% more than I expected. Okay, I'm not shy when I write a proposal these days. I am absolutely not shy. Now, I have been at this for over 12 years. I will tell you, in my first year, I was lucky. I was stumbling along with pricing. I was lucky. I made $20,000 in my first year. That's what I made. I have since come to find out that was actually pretty good. And I was stunned to find out that was pretty good for a first-year coach. I was stunned to find that out. And now I'm not. And now I know what I'm giving you, you could pay somebody else thousands of dollars for, and they'll give you the same thing. So this is you. You are me. I am you. I got to give this to you. I hope you understand. I hope you understand what you're getting. But this is important. Jennifer, Atara, you guys just touched me like nobody's business. What they were accepting for their coaching is just, I mean, oh no, they can't do that. That's no. It's just no. Okay. Questions. Let me start here. Questions.
Hey, John, Beatrice had a quick question. She wanted to know, what was the question or the parameter for a client to be a no on your wait list? If you can go back to that real quick.
Yes. If they can't answer my question, what they do is this. What kind of question is that? They answer it, but they answer it in a negative. Then my answer to them is, well, then that means we cannot work together. If they just don't have, they're thinking, they don't, God, what a great question that is. And if you stop and really think about the question I gave you, that is a very serious, full question. I mean, try to answer it yourself. And whoa, wow. Whew. And they start breathing. And that's when you can jump in if they're stuck. And can I ask you something? Are you stuck? Yes. Well, let me ask you this way. What are the obstacles? What are the opportunities? What are the strengths? Obstacles, opportunities, strengths. Okay. Some will say, oh, that's SWOT. Okay. Obstacles, opportunities, strengths. Because you just took them into the future. Now, I didn't say let's go into the future 3 years from now. You completely screwed it up. 3 years from now, 3 years from today, we're having this conversation. What had to have happened for you to be happy with, for you personally and professionally, for you to be happy with the progress you've made? They've already made the progress. They are already where they are already seeing themselves in their future. You didn't ask them, where are you? Please don't do that. You simply said, what had to happen for you to get there? They're telling you what they need work with. Does that make sense? As they start answering, they are giving you your proposal. They literally are giving you your proposal. So here's what I propose. I propose that, we're going to work on coaching to resolve these sorts of issues. Done. $21,000, 6 months. Okay.
Hey, John, so we have another question. This is coming from Beatrice again. She asked, what about the clients who are seeking help with clarity? What are your thoughts about that?
Okay. What's different? Help me to understand what's different.
Can I just jump there really quickly?
Yes,
Yeah, I was
please.
gonna say, come on, Beatrice. Yeah.
Thank you. And I also, in the interest of time, I have a client at one. So thank you so much for everything. Great conversation. We need more of this. And my question is, well, sometimes, let's say prospects might need that clarity. Or let's say, if I ask them that question that you have, which I think is fabulous question, they might not have it clear. They might, or at least they might say, I haven't thought that far. So I think that part of me, I am with you 100%, where it's just like, you need to have an idea where you're going. Right. But I also understand that sometimes people are so deep in their heads and in their own stories, whatever.
Yes.
that they might need that clarity. So,
oh, what a great question. Okay, that is a great question. That is a great question, and that's where you go down and you ask for the specific. What are the obstacles you had to overcome? Now you help them become specific. What are the obstacles? Now, ideally, you want to get 3. You may, because of a lack of clarity, you may get 1. And that's when you say, what else? Well, I don't know. But if you, careful, now please stay with me here. Well, I don't know, John. But if you did know, give them permission to say something that's going to sound squirrely or crazy, because a lot of people know things, they know, but they have a fear of saying it because they don't want to seem less than in your eyes, much less somebody else's eyes. So that's where you have to have a lot of empathy when you say, well, it's okay. Let's make believe you did know. What would it be? Well, and now you'll start talking. Again, the longer you have them talking, and when you have them talking like that, well, I don't know, that's almost, again, money in the bank. That's okay, let's make believe you do know. Well, what if you did? What if you did know? What would it be? It's okay, whatever. This is a safe space, whatever. And they'll start talking. It's okay, Beatrice?
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So welcome. Okay.
So yes, we have Paina has a question. You can come off mute. And then we're gonna get to Lee next.
This is Pagina. Thanks for having me in this space. Haven't been here for a long time, probably more than a year. Just Friday doesn't work. So hello for those who hi Reem. Thank you for your wonderful questions, John. I don't know if it's a question. Yes, it's a question, or one is a comment related to what Beatrice was asking, and it's, I find that sometimes it depends on the age of the client, you know, how much experience they've had for them to have enough lived experience to realize this is where I want to go, right? So I've had some younger, you know, just starting to bump into leadership, and they know they want to they know they should have some clarity around something, and they're trying to find that clarity, kind of have what Beatrice said. And I haven't tried with them the question that you've asked. Maybe I'll try in the future, but what I've done is ask them, well, if they don't know, like if I've asked something similar, they don't know, it's like, well, how do you want to feel? And that seems to, so that goes along the lines of,
Yes.
you know, clarifying. So I wondered what your thoughts are around that. Like, do you see an age kind of like what I'm seeing? Because does that question always work? Like I seem to need to dig into other things like feelings and stuff for them to realize, if I want to feel that way, what might that look like? So what are your thoughts around that?
Well, one, thank you very much for the question. It was a wonderful question. And the point is, you are the coach. You are the coach. And in that conversation, the key is to keep them talking. So you want them to talk, not you. You want them to talk, because you want to make sure they realize this is about them, not you, that they can talk to you. So that's why I say the older they are, let me put it this way. If you're in that 40-year range, 35 to 40 or 40 and up, I am definitely saying 3 years. There is no two ways about it. I'm in that 3-year mark. That's where I'm at. Below that, I'm going to go to 18 months. 18 months is something that's more for a younger person. 18 months is much more, it's a stretch, and you want the stretch. Where are you 18 months from now? They have a feeling. So to Payina's comment, they have a feeling where they want to be in 18 months. They're not exactly going to be too open with saying that, because once they said it, they're committing to it. Once they've said it, they are committing to it. Making a commitment is tough. The younger the group you coach, commitment gets tougher, is just tougher. The older group you coach, commitment is not as tough, as crazy as that seems. Commitment is a little easier to come by because they've lived longer, because they've been in the business longer, because they've had a lot of mistakes. They've bumped up against too many things, and they really need help with becoming the leader they want to become, the leaders their organization needs them to be. It's just, the older you are, the further you can go. But again, for me, I keep it to 3 years or 18 months. 3 years and 18 months. And that's exactly right. You may need to adjust your comments, but I have found that the question for me has worked beautifully for years. I have augmented it with other comments. You know, well, let's make believe you do know. You know, to other comments with well, what if they don't know? They need clarity. Okay, so help me to understand. What if you did know? What else? Tell me more. Okay, the more you have your potential client talking, the more comfortable they become with you. The more comfortable they become with you, you become the gotta have person. I gotta have TL. I gotta have Zachariah. Neil, you have a question?
Wasn't a question. I was given permission to add. Thank you, John. I'm one of the coaches that's been around for a while, over a decade doing this, and I do pretty well. And I really appreciate what you're sharing here. I've held back in a lot of contexts on talking about pricing and money because I realized I was getting paid a lot, and it triggers a lot of coaches because they're not, so I've held back on that. But this question that you framed, I wanted to share that the essence of the question is the same no matter what the client response is. It's just reframing it. What do if you were going to dream it up, dare to know. Just try it on. Let's just play with it, because everybody has some kind of dream about their future. And they may just be afraid to say it. They may have never said it out loud. They may be embarrassed. And if they're stuck in the weeds around all the things that they need to do in between, but they're just not putting their focus on that 3 years out. If you slow down enough and give people the space to go there, everybody has a dream for some horizon that's out there. And as the coach, unless they're being belligerent, right, you can cut them off and say no. But as the coach, to stay in that question and have them realize that you're going to hold them because they have that dream, they begin to trust you more and more and more. And then it's just going to start coming out. And you just have to know when to shut up and write and take the notes. There's not a human that doesn't dream about their future. It's in there. They feel it. They know it. It's in their body. And it's really scary for a lot of people to say, I really want this, because they don't want it to get crushed by somebody. You're not going to crush it. And when they realize that, they'll tell you. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, Neil. Neil, thank you very much. That was spot on. Absolutely right. Can
Awesome.
I?
Yeah. Hey, John, we have a few more questions in the chat. I was going to kind of have them go in order, but you were going to say something. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I'll get with the question because I would like to get to another part of this to talk about money specifically. Okay. But what are the other questions, please?
Yeah. So Lena wrote that she understands not pricing by the hour. She asked, do you have an internal rubric that you use and that you don't disclose to the client to determine the 21,000 for 5 months or your 57,000 for year example? So if you have something like that, that'll be helpful.
Bravo. Well, that's the perfect question. That's really what I wanted to get to right now. That is, yay. Yay. That's the perfect question. Okay. The correct answer, the schoolhouse solution is whatever you charge is okay. Okay. That's the schoolhouse solution. May I up everybody's ante a little bit? Okay, I'm going to go beyond the schoolhouse solution. And it is the truth. Whatever you charge is fine. That's what a lot of the gurus will tell you. Whatever you charge is fine. They'll tell you, you pick a number, what number you're comfortable with. They'll tell you that too. I'm going to say this about that, and that's all correct. I'm just going to give you how John does it. Okay, is that all right? This is just how I do it. And it doesn't make it the way, it's a way. Okay, are we good with that? This is just John's way. Okay, John's way. I have a bottom line number I do not go below. For me, my bottom line number, which will be going up this coming year, my bottom line number I will not go below is $21,000 for 9 months. I do not coach for less than 9 months. Why? The first month is a throwaway. It is everybody's getting to know each other. Well, for me, it's let's go through this whole values. Who are you? I'm going to know you real well. I need to make sure you know who you are. So the first month for me is almost a throwaway because it's just getting to know you. Now we're coming up with the plan. So now we're moving forward. So the first month is gone. We've already done a month. And it's not reasonable to think that you're going to see some sort of behavior changes in 5 months on the traditional 6-month thing. That's not, that for me, that's not reasonable. So I say 9. So now I've taken 1 month and it's gone. So now I have 8. So in that 8 months, here's what's really happening. 8 months, I am doing 6. The first month, we're going to talk every week. This is just John. First month, we're going to talk every week for an hour. That's it. The second month, 2 through 8, it's going to be twice a month for an hour. First and third week, or second and fourth week. The 5th week, should that month have a 5th week, that's my vacation. Okay. And some months have a 5th week. So you take that 5th week and it's yours. So first and third, second and fourth. I do that for 8 months. Now, starting in the 8th month, I may go to 1 session in month 8. I'm going to 1 session in 9. Okay. This is you call me. I generally get the call in the 9th month, but that's okay, because when we're done, I say, now, you know, you have access to me for the next couple of months if you need me. So you might say, well, John, that's 9, 10, that's 11 months. Yeah, but I can tell you I've had 1 client call me after the 9th month. In 12 years, just 1. As the coach, you have to lead your client. So when you're laying it out, you're laying it out with confidence. This is my way. Now that's just my way. You may say, hey, I do 21,000 for 6 months. Good for you. That's fine. That's perfect. As a matter of fact, that's beautiful. That's great. Okay. For a year, if you're a year client, I'm moving way over here. If I'm going to coach you for a year, I'm probably coaching you for $47,000 to $51,000. I make no correlation with 9 months, none whatsoever. It's just, that's what it is. Now, 47 to 51. Okay. What's the difference? Now, 21 is, I don't go below that. Do I go above that? Yes, I do. Yes, I have. What makes me go above that? Well, there's companies like SRP, which is a large utility company out here in San Diego, out here in Arizona, Phoenix. Their executives, we start at 21. Okay, we start at 21. I will coach their C-suite, people in their C-suite for, I don't know, 27, 35 for 9 months, 9 months. Okay. What's the difference? The difference is I'm looking at companies. I look at a company for 2 things. What's that person's position in the company? What's the company? What industry are they in? Coffee industry. I work with a coffee executive, a coffee industry. Hey, coffee industry is a $700 billion industry. $700 billion industry. What's their market share? It's too easy to look up. I can look it up in 10 minutes. And then I just do a quick math drill. Okay, so that means this value to this person is X. He gets paid Y. Then I want a percentage of that. I'll take a percentage of that. I have had no one ever question what I charge. I do have a nonprofit price. For nonprofits, My bottom line number is 11,000 for nonprofits. That's what John does. Nonprofit does not mean poor. Now, can I tell you how to coach for nothing and get paid? I know that sounds really crazy, right? What the hell did he just say? Okay. There is a nonprofit that you may be familiar with, that you have a connection to, your heart is with. I'm going to give you some coaching. Okay, I will coach, I'm going to coach Camille. I'm going to coach Camille for 6 months. I'm going to coach Camille for 6 months. I'm going to coach Camille for 6 months. But here's the requirement. Camille, I need to be introduced to your board of directors must know that we're doing this. And I expect a referral from your board. Each member, how many members of the board? I would expect a referral from each member of the board. That's it. If you bring your A game with coaching to a nonprofit that you're working with for free, getting a referral for a referral, they'll be happy as a punch to do that. They get it. Hey, this is quid pro quo. I'm going to do this for that. Are they going to be happy to give you the referral? Of course. And because you brought your A game in the coaching process, you didn't cut any corners. You bring your A game. They can see the improvement. They're going to be happy to give you a referral. They may even give you someone from their company. John, I've got an executive in my company, da, 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 da. John, can you work with me? I've had board of directors, actually president of the board. John, would you be able to work with me? Certainly. He said, I got a question for you. And I asked the question. And I always ask the question. I'm happy to work with you, but first I have to answer this question. Because if you can't, and they said, well, what question? Yes, because if depending on your answer to this question means whether or not I can work with you or not. And now they're happy. Now they're actually sitting on, on the edge of their seat. Well, what's the question? And I asked the question I just gave you. And they will talk. And you listen. Your ability to listen. Okay. Ready for my slide? Okay. It's your ability to communicate, and that means you got to listen. You must listen. You must listen. If you can listen for literally 20, 30 minutes and say nothing but, tell me more, you're going to do very well. People will sing your praises. Oh my God, Patricia is someone I can talk to. Thank God, Reem was there. If it wasn't for Tamir, I couldn't get this out. And all they said was, tell me more. How do you feel about that? Tell me more. How do you feel? When are you going to start? Well, you said you wanted to do this. When are you going to start? How is it working? Okay. Always bring your A game. When you're engaging with a potential client, don't be afraid of no. You're going to get no's. You're going to get no's. I promise you that. If you don't get no's, you're not trying hard enough. But here's the deal about no. Okay, another big slide. You get that? This is no. This is yes. Yes lives inside of no. Okay, yes lives in no. If you're not getting no's, you're not trying. Okay, you're gonna get no's. You know, it's the old, as someone said once, the word goes with should be a specific word, you know, like, you know, yes goes, you know, no goes with yes, you know, light goes with dark, you know, night goes with day. It goes with. That's just the way. Yes goes with no. If you're getting no's, you're going to get yeses. If you're not getting no's and you're only getting yeses, really, we need to really look at who you're talking to. More questions?
Hey,
Like,
John. Yeah, great, great insights, man. I'm taking notes. Crazy. Patricia had a question, and I think you've sort of answered it with that. I wanted to make sure, Patricia, are you good, or do you want to ask anything else
Yeah,
about it?
you answered that perfectly for me. I think it was similar to a question that somebody else asked after me. So, and also, I just want to confirm this is being recorded. Are we getting a copy of this recording?
So we are recording and we have a meeting right after this to figure out how we're gonna share that out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. Pegina left, but she did have this question for you, John. So hopefully, if she gets this replay, she'll watch this. She had a question around how to demonstrate value when the person, I guess, interviewing or your coaching is an HR or learning and development person rather than the actual client. So I don't know if you have any, if that makes sense, or if you have any insights around that.
yes, I really hate dealing with HR. I really hate dealing with HR. If you have to deal with HR, it is get information from HR. HR's departments get very hung up on cost. And this is where you ask, you know, I appreciate your question, but what is your budget? Okay, again, confidence. I appreciate the question. What is your budget? I will let you know if I can work within that. I will let you know if I can't, I can't. Again, see, you have to take the question and zing it back. Never give a number. When HR, well, our budget is, okay, well, my range is. My range is. Okay, so if you got to deal with HR, I'll give you my experience with HRs out here in Arizona. Depending on who the person is, HRs tend to spend $18,000 roughly for their high potentials. I mean, these are folks that are ready to go to the C-suite. So if you say something like, well, my range is 15 to 25, depending on who they are. Did I just nail it within their budget? I know their budget is going to be somewhere in there. Okay, that's what I do out here in Arizona because I know that's what the market is in Arizona. In New York, it may be a bit higher. In California, it may be a bit higher. In Santa Fe, it may be a bit lower. So that's why it's a range. Okay, so you give a nice little range. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Zachariah, am I saying your name correctly? All right, you're up to bat, man.
Thank you. And John, thank you so much for all of this. I'm over here writing notes like crazy and looking forward to soaking it in later. A couple of questions on logistics. One is, and I know this is could be personal preference, but how many clients do you work with at a time? How do you define a client load? And then also, how long do you allot for those first calls or first conversations that you have with people?
Oh, very good. Another great question. If I'm using a tool like Leadership Circle Profile, if I'm using a tool, it's 90 minutes. And it's 90 minutes because I always start the same way. Tell me about you. Tell me your life story in 3 parts. The young you, the middle you, the you are today, with an eye cast to the immediate future, which is immediate future is roughly 18 months. Okay, 18, keep that 18. 18 is a good time period for looking forward. But that tends to be the only way I jump off of an hour. Okay, now let me say this, since Zachariah, thank you very much. Please do not coach by the hour. You have a program. Your model for coaching is, and you need to have that down pat. My model is 6 months. It is a minimum of 18, 12. I'm doing the math. My model is 6 months. It's 12 sessions. A session is an hour. The first session or the second session may be 90 minutes, depending on if you're using a leadership assessment tool. Okay, that's a model. That's not John's model. John's model, is 9 months, but that's just a model. 6 months. It's minimum of 12 sessions. Why do I say minimum? Because you are open very well. The point is success, not how many hours we spend. It's success, not how many hours we spend. Oh my God, they will love you for that. They will love you for that. And you have to live up to that, because you will get calls. Hey, Tara, can we talk? Well, I can schedule in here, here, and here. Don't ever drop what you're doing to say, yes, I can talk. Get them on a schedule, even if it's 2 hours from now or an hour from now or a half hour, but you put them on a schedule. Do not let them run you, or you will get run ragged. I learned that lesson the hard way. I had a lady who did 76 sessions with me. Holy shit. In 9 months, oh my God, I stopped. I had to revisit my model and go, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And then okay, I got it. All right. So, because it was like, sure, we can talk. Sure, we can talk. You cannot do that. You have to get them on a schedule. Okay. So that's a session. So what is that? That package is $21,000. And typically, and you can say this to HR, typically there's 26 sessions, or typically there's 30 sessions. Now you can make up a number. Typically it's 35 sessions. You can make up a number. It doesn't matter now, because your model is 6 sessions with a minimum, watch the words, a minimum of 12 sessions. If we go over 12 sessions, I'm not going to come back to you looking for more money. This is what it is. For that is $21,000 or $23,000. Also, always make the number an odd number. 21,550, 21,535, 23, whatever. Always an odd number. Why? Anything easily divisible by 2, they'll start dividing on you. Particularly if you're working with an HR, they will start that mathematical division like nobody's business. So you give them a number that is not easily divisible by 2. Okay, you with me? You're getting all John's secrets now. This is it. You're getting everything. All right. Margie, you have a question?
John, thank you so much for that. Yes, and it's a little bit different for me as I'm hearing everything you're saying, and thank you. There's just so much great information here, and it's just making me realize, oh, I do that. That's not a good thing, and I see why. So I'm catching my own errors. So I appreciate everything you've shared. I'm not an executive coach, and as soon as I say that, I'm like, and why not? But that's another question for another day, right? I'm very called to a few audiences that I know there's always a range in people's like, financial resources, but it's students and it's first generation entrepreneurs. Okay, these are people. So I'm in the Cincinnati area. We have a magnificently beautiful ecosystem for startups. I know a lot of women entrepreneurs of, who are, of very non-traditional, ethnicities and backgrounds and things like that. And so I'm always talking to them, and I know that there's so much I can do with coaching, but an executive coaching price is not going to fit somebody that's just starting off as an entrepreneur or somebody who's a student. And, so I see myself very much in those people, because that's how I am. Okay. I don't want to, so I want to, what I've always thought about is like having a range. And I don't know that that's a good thing, but how would you go about being, still having something where you can, you have a price that ultimately this is what the value of my coaching is, or my program or whatever, but still have something that is, you can serve other people who don't have that same financial access. And maybe I'm tripping myself up, and you can say that too.
No, but it's always good to be able to have a range of your lowest thing. Have a range, so you let people know what your range is. Look, you're starting out, you need to understand, this is my range. I know you can't afford that. Since you can't afford that, I'm going to bring this range down to X, but this is for you, and it's just for you. You don't quote this, you don't tell anybody else this, but this is a special price for you. Now, please, everyone, you must make your prices a stretch.
Mhm.
If you know they have 5,000, you have to say 7. If you know they can afford 5 easily, you have to say 7. As cruel as this may sound, you have to say 7. People will find the money. Why is that? If it's not a stretch, folks, if you want your coaching to work, you want it to work. If it's too cheap, it will not work. You want people to talk about you and you and you. You want people talking about you. Oh my God, Arliss was the best coach I have ever had. That's because they paid for it. They paid attention. They brought their A games also. So if I charge $21,000 to someone that's making $500,000, oh my, yeah, well, no, that's not the way. So if they can only afford 5, then it's 7. If they can only afford 3, then it's 5. That's something each one of us is going to have to come to grips with, is our own value. You must know that you bring value. The first sale is to you. If you haven't read The Prosperous Coach, I get nothing from this, but if you have not read The Prosperous Coach, I strongly suggest you read it. If you've not read Alan Weiss's $1 Million Consultant, I would read that too. But it's a different mindset, and it's just about your value and what you bring to the game. Okay, people need you. They need you. They really do, and you got to show up, and you got to bring all of you there. Okay, and it's more than a cup of coffee. Please.
Thank you,
Hey,
John.
John, we're coming close to the end. We have 2 minutes left. Do you have time for one more question?
I do if you do.
All right, beautiful. This is coming from Jennifer. Do you want to just ask it yourself, Jennifer? Like, we want to hear you too. So nobody wants to hear me talk. It's all good.
Sure. My question is around pricing. If the client is coming to you through a company, an organization that's sponsoring the cost versus someone that's coming kind of on their own to you.
Okay, are you talking like
Because
Bev?
Well, because I find that, and that's my own stuff that I probably have to work through, is feeling like I can charge more if it's a company versus someone paying out of pocket.
Okay,
Does that
well,
make sense?
yes, it does. If you're working through a company, you're stuck. I'm just being honest with you because the company is probably doing the billing, maybe doing the billing, or they've already established the price point. This is all of us being individuals. As an individual, you have a little more freedom. Companies like Better Up, they're all good, but companies like Better Up and whatever, there's a couple more out there. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Well,
But
if
that
it's
is a
like
good way to
not necessarily like a coaching platform like that, but if it's a company, if it's a I think you mentioned a company earlier, but if you're coming, let's say through their HR, they're sponsoring it versus the person is paying from their own pocket.
Well, you want a sponsor. You want your people you coach to have a sponsor. Okay, let there be no mistake. You want a sponsor. You don't want people paying out of their pocket. Sponsorship is where sponsorship is where you can charge the money. It's when it's coming out of their pocket is where it gets dicey. And you want them to have a sponsor. You really do. So you do. So with the sponsors, that's the range. No, my range is, what is your position? Okay, then it's this. Here's my range. He works at this job. Okay, then it's that.
Got it. It's helpful.
Man, this is powerful. So I want to just thank all of you, first of all, for clearing out time, like I said, out of your days to be here with us. If you got an insight, if you got something valuable, please throw it in the chat. We'd love to hear what's the one thing that you got that John brought to the table that you can apply and use right away with your pricing or how you have conversations with clients and potential clients. Because that's the whole point of this, right? Not just the information, we want the transformation. Use this.
Please use this. Yes.
Ooh, Patrice, I like that. Always make it an odd number. That was the one for me too. I caught that. Camille, the question in the program, TL, then ask what else. Yes, that all question. And what else? Oof. Margie, yes, wonderful. Thank you all for how much you contributed. Jocelyn, the questions, our list minimum of 6 months. I mean, we can keep going on and on. I don't want to like hold everybody up because we're already a minute past the hour. But John, thank you for you. Simple as that.
Very welcome. This is for you all, and please use this stuff. Please.
Oh, and before I go, oops. We're gonna do this again next month, not with John, but we have Linda Gonzalez who is going to host a training. Just give me 1 second. We're gonna be talking about my screen, profits and impact, how to grow your business with purpose. So if you are not registered already, I'm throwing it in the chat. Oh, crap.
Sorry, Alex, I should have had it.
It's all right. I was ready, then I didn't get ready. I messed myself up, but no, I got it. I grabbed it.
While you do that,
So it's in the chat right now. So if you are available on December 9th, same time, same bat, well, different bat channel. It's gonna be my Zoom link. That's the way you registered. And if you got value from this, who else in your network, who else in your orbit can you say, hey, come to this gathering, because we're amplifying things with our collective, and we want to make sure we deliver high quality, high value things for you because we know your time is valuable. So that's our promise for you, to bring our best. You just bring the people too.
thank you. Thank you so much, John. We really, really, really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Reen. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
John. Bye, everybody.
Great job, everyone. Thank y'all.
Alex.
Yeah.